For the longest time, the world of software development felt, well, pretty stable, right? The tools we used were kind of set in stone. Well, that era is officially over. We are smack in the middle of a massive shift, a complete reimagining of how software gets built, and it's all being driven by AI. So let's break down what this new world of development really looks like. All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at some old familiar problems, but with a new twist now that AI is in the mix. Then, we'll dive into the cloud-native solution that's taking over. From there, we'll put on our C-suite hats and really understand the business impact. And finally, we'll look ahead at the agent-driven future that is, frankly, right around the corner.
Okay, so before we can talk about the future, we've got to get real about the present. We have to be honest about where things stand right now.
Think about it. For decades, the entire software industry has basically been built on this one single point of failure, the developer's laptop. Now, don't get me wrong, it's given us amazing tools. VS Code, JetBrains, we all love them. But let's be honest, it's also been a constant, massive headache for every single engineering team on the planet.
And if you're a manager or a CTO, these points probably hit a little too close to home, right? Onboarding that just drags on for weeks. That classic line, well, it works on my machine. And every single laptop is a potential security risk, not to mention they're all underpowered for what we need to do now. One by one, they're just annoyances. But all together, it's a huge, expensive drag on your team's momentum.
Okay, but here's the kicker. This is where the whole story flips on its head. We are now about to unleash powerful AI coding agents into that same fragile system. And that forces a massive question. What happens when one of these bots gets access to everything? All of a sudden, those old problems, they're not just about slowing you down anymore. No, they're giant security and compliance nightmares just waiting to happen.
So, this new reality, it demands a new foundation. It's that simple. We need something built not just to fix those old headaches, but to actually harness the incredible power of AI safely. And when you look at the new way of doing things, the difference is, well, it's night and day. We're moving from those shaky, inconsistent local machines to standardized, repeatable environments in the cloud. Onboarding, it goes from weeks of pulling your hair out to just minutes from a template. And here's the big one for any leader. Those gaping security holes get replaced with centralized security and governance that you can actually audit. This isn't just a small step up, it's a completely different strategic game.
The magic behind all this is something called a cloud development environment, or a CDE. The idea is actually super simple. Instead of every developer building their own little workshop from scratch, you give them, and now this is key, you give your AI agents a perfect, secure, pre-configured workshop that lives in the cloud. Ready to go literally in seconds.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it breaks down into 4 key steps. First, everything starts from a template, so everyone, human or AI, is on the same page. Second, and this is absolutely critical, the AI agents have to play in a secure sandbox with super tight permissions. Third, your developers get to keep using the tools they already love, like VS Code or JetBrains, except now they're pre-configured and ready for AI. And finally, you manage the whole thing from one central spot. Total visibility, total control. It's a complete auditable system from top to bottom. Okay, the tech is cool, for sure. But let's get down to brass tacks. What does this actually mean for the business? Let's put on our CTO hat for a minute and look at this from that perspective. This quote right here, velocity without chaos, really nails it. This is the core challenge for every tech leader, isn't it? How do you go faster without everything falling apart? Well, this new model is the answer. It's all about unlocking speed while keeping control, letting your teams, both human and AI, innovate within a safe, governed structure. For a CTO, the wins here are crystal clear. You're getting new hires and new AI agents productive in record time. Security and compliance? They're built right in from the start, not an afterthought you have to bolt on later. But the real strategic play here? You can build smaller, smarter teams that get so much more done because AI is handling all the routine stuff. Really, what you're doing is future-proofing your entire engineering culture for the age of AI. And when you look at the numbers, the impact on your key metrics is just wow. Let's start with onboarding. We're talking about going from weeks of painful setup down to minutes. Minutes! Then there's your security posture. Your attack surface just shrinks because you control the whole environment. You're moving from high risk to low risk by design. And what does all that add up to? A massive, measurable boost in developer velocity. which is, let's be real, the engine that drives your entire business. The data really speaks for itself here. This is just a faster, safer way to build software. All right, so let's bring it all home by looking to the future. Because this isn't just about fixing today's problems. This is about getting ready for what is absolutely inevitably coming our way. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. This is happening right now, and it's moving fast. Within the next year, you're going to see AI agents filing their own pull requests. A year after that, zero-trust security for those agents is just going to be the standard. And then things really speed up. We'll see hybrid IDEs that give you the best of local and cloud, and the role of a senior engineer will completely change. They'll be orchestrating entire fleets of AI agents. Within 5 years, that line between writing code and no code is just going to disappear into one seamless pipeline. Which brings us to the single most important idea to take away from all of this. These cloud development platforms, these CDEs, they aren't just another developer tool. They are becoming the essential governance layer for the AI-accelerated future of software engineering. This is the foundational infrastructure you need to manage how humans and AI work together in your software factory. So, it really all comes down to one crucial question for you and your organization. As AI gets woven into everything you do, are you building an open, uncontrolled playground for it where anything can happen? Or are you architecting a secure, governed, high-performance factory? The choice you make right now is going to define whether you can actually compete in this new agent-driven world.